Okay, we're going to work on painting in Photoshop and using the paintbrush to create a freehand drawing. We're going to look at the art of Jean-Michel Basquiat. He's the person whose style we're going to appropriate. And you can find out a bit about him by looking up on Wikipedia or whatever. Just search for him in Google, Basquiat. And there's some examples of his work there. So that's just a bit of an introduction, and I'd like you to have a look at his work and find out a bit about him as part of the process. So let's get rid of that. Here's some examples of his work there. And you can see it's very freehand, very rough, very spontaneous, graffiti style artist, and use of text and stuff, but all hand done. It does lend itself quite nicely to what we're going to do. So I'll just close those down. And here's a student example from this year. Two versions of Basquiat style work done from one of the year 7 students. This one's particularly good. You see a varying number of sizes of line, different colours, use of text, and pretty good appropriation of Basquiat style there. Now there is a tutorial for it, Photoshop using the paintbrush, which sort of briefly explains what we're going to do, but not a detailed step-by-step tutorial. So what I'm going to do to help you, I'm going to show you how to start it off. So I'll just close that now, we don't need that one. I'll go to Photoshop, there we go. Now we need a new image. File, new, and international paper. It might be on US paper, it could be on photo, whatever, but we want international paper. We're going to choose A4. The rest of the defaults are correct. 300 pixels per inch is what we want, and we hit OK. So there we have our image. Now, we need to use the swatches tool, so we've got to have them coming up. You've got different palette styles or workspaces here in Photoshop. There's Essentials, Design. Now Design's got what we need there. Painting, it's got swatches in the Navigator. I like to use the photography one, and I've added the swatches into it. And to do that, you go to Window and you click on Swatches. I'll just get rid of them there. And it's easy there anyway. Window, Swatches, and bang, there they are, so we can access them. That's to get our colours. There's other things, there's colour styles, and there's really finely gradated colours. We'll just use them anyway. And we'll just ignore that Foxtel offer that came through there on my mails. Okay, first thing we want to do is we want to use the paint bucket tool to fill the background in. Now you might find when you first open Photoshop that you see you've got the gradient tool. See there? I've got more than one option under each of these tools. Any of these ones with the little triangles have more than one. Zoom in here. There's that paint bucket tool. You've either got the gradient tool or the paint bucket tool. Now you right click or double finger click to change them. We want paint bucket. I want black, so I go and pick black from my swatch, and there's the top colour, the active colour is going to be black, and so I'm going to fill it in. Excellent. You can do any colour you want to, but I just like to work out of black. Now I've got to do some drawing. Now I like this yellow that I've got down here, so I'm going to flick that so that becomes the active colour, or I could get something out of here. Paintbrush. Here it is. We can change around with the sizes. We can make it really huge, big. How huge is it? Small. Whatever. Smaller the better, most probably to start with. So I'm going to use this. It's 29 pixels. That's excellent. I'm going to use a hard brush. I don't want a soft edge one. And I'm going to start drawing a face. So I use my mouse. You can use a trackpad if you want. It's up to you. I prefer to use a mouse. It's just my preference. If you had a graphics tablet, you'd be able to do even more. So it's a rough sort of face. It's not accurate. We are doing a rough expressionistic sort of face, a little bit like we've done with Joy Hester as well, really, but we're using the computer and we're using Basquiat. I might then add some blue because I want to get my eyes to be blue, so I'm going to paint them in. You notice I'm not being too careful. And you'll notice that see-through there, I've got my opacity at 50%. If I don't want it to be see-through, I can change that and make that blue a little bit more solid. There we go. So we can use both of those. So that opacity is really handy for getting different styles. I might want to put some big broad areas of flesh tone here. I'll use my opacity. If I get a big soft brush, go get the soft edge brush there, I can just fill in some areas quite nicely. I get what I want there. I might make it even more see-through here to start filling in my colours. Okay, I can colour them in. I can make them as big or soft as I want to. If I wanted a big area there, look at that. And see with the see-through bit, if I go over, I can bring it up like washes in ink. Okay, so that enables us to get a bit of tonal gradation happening. Okay, I'm going to go for some hair now. I want some hair in that, and I'm going to make it reddy brown hair. I want a fairly fine brush, sharp, fine, and I'm going to start drawing some hair. Now I don't want it to be see-through there. I'll make that a bit dark. There we go, look at that. That's a bit big for my liking, so I'll make that smaller and different colour. I can start drawing over like that. Now I could put text in here. I might write the word. I might write a word in here. I might write self. I'm going to freehand it. I'm not going to use typing. This is all about the freehand tool. It's not a self-portrait in this case, but I might write that just for the sake of it. You see I've actually swapped writing style there. And I can do whatever I want. I might get just some broad areas of colour here in the background. Soft brush, make the brush nice and big. I want it really see-through. And I might just start putting some washes of tone down here over my black. You see, look. Let's get that swatch again. Some blues. And I can do whatever I want there to create my image. I can have it less see-through if I want a solid tone to come through. Yeah, there we go. Better, doesn't it? And so on. So I can play around. Essentially, I'm using the swatches. I'm using my brush tools and the different sizes up here. And I used my paint bucket tool to fill in the background. If you wanted to, you could have just painted a background in, whatever you wanted. But that's what I want you to do. I want you to create a very, very Basquiat style image that uses those tools. And experiment, see what you can get up with and see what you can put together. Okay, thanks very much.